and welcome to your 2014 Big Ten football preview. I'm Andy Staples for SI.com. I'm here with Brian Hamilton. We're going to talk about what everybody seems to think is a two-team, one-division race. Is the Big Ten Michigan State or Ohio State's to lose? Is it that game in East Lansing? Is that going to be it?
That might be your de facto title game. That team that comes out of that day goes to Indy and should be the favorite over the other division. I mean, I don't see the other side of the equation having enough firepower, having enough potential to get past those two teams. And Michigan State and Ohio State have questions now too. I mean, Ohio State, Braxton Miller's a great quarterback. Who's blocking for him? Taylor Decker, you've got a nice left tackle, but nobody else in that offensive line with any substantial experience. Michigan State, a lot of holes on defense, two nice bookend defensive ends. Yep. Good place to start, but you don't have Max Bullock, you don't have Zarquez Denard. I would give a little bit of an edge maybe to Michigan State just because you would figure Mark D'Antonio has his guys. You would figure Pat Narduzzi has his guys.
So Tywan Jones replacing Max Bullock, I mean, he's sort of been preparing for that all along. He's slid over, but knows the defense backward and forward, and that's what that person in that position has to do. But we talk about the teams at the top of the East Division. What about the team we're not talking about at all in the East Division, Michigan? And this could be it for Brady Hoke if they can't turn it around.
You can't have too much. I mean, when you go out and you bring in a guy like Doug Nussmeier, like you're obviously looking to improve, but that's also a not so subtle sign of desperation. That you know there are some major overhauls needed in order to get the program back on the right trajectory. Yep. If it doesn't work now, you lose 5 out of your last 6 to end the season, 7-5 last year. You have to wonder. I mean, if that change doesn't work, what other changes are there to make?
Right, and they're in the same boat as Ohio State where they don't have a ton of offensive line experience. Right. The difference is they don't have the best defensive line in the country. Let's talk about the West. Geography wasn't kind in that it loaded up this East Division and the West Division. Got some good teams, but we just don't know what we're going to get out of that.
Yeah, Wisconsin, you'd think that, I mean, Gary Anderson had a really nicely balanced team last year. I mean, it was almost sort of a ready-made contender type team. How that evolves in year 2 will be interesting. I mean, you get your system in there, but then you have to fill some holes now. What happens with Nebraska? I mean, is there an upward trajectory there?
Is it another 9-4, 10-4 season? 10-4 means they win the division, but it's still a 4-loss season. And Bo Pelini has lost 4 games every season he's been there. It is a crazy statistic. And you look at what they have. They have Amir Abdullah, who might be the best back in the league. Right. They have Randy Gregory, who is a fantastic pass rusher. But do they have enough to overcome a Michigan State or an Ohio State in a Big Ten championship game situation? May come down to November 8th in East Lansing.
It might. And I mean, that you would think that the Big Ten champion, especially if it's one of those two teams, that's your team that's going to be in that Final Four.
Yeah, I think if it's one of those two teams and they do well in their non-conference, you're looking at a playoff team.
Yes, you are.